Don't force forgiveness. It doesn't come out of force. Just leave the little space, like put the container there. It could be empty right now because you don't have nothing to give. And that little container will get filled one day. And you will be surprised like I was. I was taken by surprise.
Hello everyone, I'm Cris Saur. Welcome to Quest for Beauty. And my guest today is Justyna. She's a fashion designer with over 25 years of experience. Justyna, so you posted a video after you watched the Quest for Beauty movie that really touched me. I would like to talk a little bit about your story with domestic abuse starting in your family, because you have this issue that came with multiple generations, and this is like something that keeps repeating over and over again. And just as a little statistic, every year 1.6 million people die in the world due to domestic abuse. So I think that this is the real pandemic.
Yeah, it is. And it's been for a very long time, and it's just unnoticed, and it goes unnoticed because it's not reported.
And then if a child is exposed to domestic abuse, it's very likely that this child is going to either engage in an abusive relationship as the abuser or as the abused.
It's a work in progress because we tend to imitate what we've known the most, and we actually thrive in the habits that we hate so much. So usually the children, at least in my situation and my sister, we went through extremely traumatic childhood with my father, mental illnesses and severe abuses. It was severe and we hate it. It's extremely frightening for children, especially when you're little, because his episode started when I was 5. I got the first severe beating to the point of losing consciousness and broken bones when I was 5, just for cutting off my eyelashes. And he lost it. As much as we want to keep these people accountable, we not always can, especially when there is a mental illness and it's not treated and there is no therapy. And I come from Poland. There was oppression everywhere and everybody had the problems, and there was starvation, there was no job, everybody was stressed out, and there is no outlets to release any of that. So it's just generational trauma. I went towards religion. I thought religion will be my savior and my whatnot, but the religion became the cross of mine, because guess what? At age 18, I got attacked and I got raped by a friend of the family. And I decided in my Catholic brain that I'm gonna marry and save this man. So I'm gonna make sense of what happened to me. That I'm not gonna be the dirt for everybody to point fingers. The abuse continued. The rapes didn't stop. The beating didn't stop. I had 5 miscarriages. I was once a month in hospital with broken ribs, with concussions, with just losing, my consciousness and waking up in a pool of blood. There was so much. I cannot fix these people. Even if you try to fix them and bring the good to their life, it just doesn't work because
it has to start here.
Exactly. And it didn't start here.
Not for him.
And not for me. Not for me, because I just dissociated from my body, so this was not me anymore. I was only here. So whatever he'd done to that part, it wasn't mine. It wasn't me, it was someone else, and I was completely dissociated with it. I had only my brain and my prayers and meditations and whatnot. I was getting so sick. I was about 38 kilograms. I don't even know how much that is in pounds, but it's very little. That's like Auschwitz-Birkenau survivor weight. And I was malnourished, I was passing out, I had seizures, I had panic attacks. I was just scared of my own shadow. He will attack me and go, and it's like obsessive behavior. So finally, I went and I visited my friend who was a nun. She sent me to a psychologist. And I didn't even know they exist. And we go in Warsaw, I go to him in the first couple meetings, and he's just like talking to me, and I have this aha moment after another, like, what am I doing? I am basically putting myself and him into that perpetuated horrific situation that I grew up with. When my father will not only rape my mother and we were forced to watch it, he will try to kill her with an axe. Yeah, take a breath, sorry. It's a lot to unpack. But it took a lot for me to wake up. It took a lot to shock me up. Because you are so used to so much, you don't have a value. And because my mother exposed us to it and always told us we were dirt, I had no value for myself at all. We got to stop this. I committed. I'm out of that marriage. It's going to change and that's it. But, the oppressors, they don't give up that easily. So he would attack me, he will stalk me, he will stalk me at work, he will stalk me at university, he will physically abuse me up front of half of the faculty of the university, and they just stand and watch, and I'm just like, no one helps, no one. I begged the priest who was just passing with the car to take me, and he's like, no, I can't do this.
Why?
Because this was your husband. I was done with church then. I was done with the marriage. I was done with whole 9 yards of other things. I don't know where I found the strength, seriously. I was still not attached to this body. It took years after. And I kind of moved on. And I created a new life. But of course, because there was not enough healing, I engaged with another abusive man. And I got pregnant, I had my son, but then the first time he hit me, I packed my son and I left. I didn't know how to be a mother. I didn't know how to be a woman. I didn't know how to be a human being. So I had to learn everything. But talking to my sister, she she passed away. She never learned to forgive, forget, move on. She got stuck in her 5-year-old princess, wanna be a daddy's girl dream that never passed for her, never. And everything just broke down. Because after her passing, my father, about 2011, so a couple years later, he committed a suicide. I don't think I ever loved anyone more than my sister. When she died, it felt like war crime witness died. And I'm the only one now to tell our story. There is a need to talk about this. I get humongous healing from talking about this. This is not my pride on my shoulder to talk about this. I'm talking in honor of her because her story was never heard. Neither my dad nor my mom apologized to her for her broken childhood, for her broken heart, for her broken life. And I know she forced my mom to apologize. And my mom, I just said sorry, but I really didn't mean it. And I was like, oh my God, woman, when is it gonna come to you that even if you don't feel that it's your fault, you were a big part of it? Because we were 5, we were 6, we were 7, and we were looking up to you. And you never took care of us, ever. I had to take care of her and my sister. I grabbed my brother and jumped out the window, and my father tried to kill my brother, who was 2 months old. When my hands were shaking, I couldn't dial the phone number for police. No one would touch the phone. I had abundance of adults and was maybe, I was this little thing, and my hands were shaking. I couldn't do it. I was like, just dial the phone. I will talk to police.
How do you even start healing?
I actually was in shock when I was able to send the love and feel love for my father, who's like the biggest ball of hate and resentment. When he transformed into the love, I was finally free. I was so free and happy, and I was able to connect with this man. I have the biggest connection with him. We have so much in common. I have the work ethic from him. I have his honor, his sense of justice, his sense of who I am and the strength. He never gave in. He never gave in for the communists. He was this honorable man to the T, and he paid the highest price for it. And joyful moments of joyful tears. So for me, it was meditation. Meditation.
I was reading about this psychologist from the University of Minnesota, and then she says that domestic abuse is even worse than going to war, because our home is our safe space. So then when your home is not safe, and you expect it to be safe, then the trauma is even worse than going to war. And I'm like, this is so powerful, what she said. And I'd like to know, like, after everything that you went through, like, how did you manage to make your home feel safe for both you and your son?
You know, it took years and years to build the safety. I never felt safe at home, ever. I was always ready to jump and, you know, guard him with my own body, which I've done many times. That's why I study so much. To my first husband, I would not go home. I would go from, you know, from my formal logic to like theater studies, to art studies, to, you know, astrophysics, whatever was there, everything but going home. I was never safe at home, never. And the more I meditate, and the more I take care of myself, like, but it's still work in progress. I'm not the perfect person. I'm just trying my best.
We're not here to be perfect.
I know. That is the worst part ever, because I always wanted to be perfect, and that's a tragedy of my life. I had all these shortcomings.
And you're such an example. And I'm so happy that we met.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Like, Cris, you're such an example. I think, like, your energy, you're so beautiful. You radiate love. And, like, when I first met you, I'll never tell that you went through so much.
Really? Wow.
Never. Because I don't feel any, you know, like when you feel like when someone has resentment.
Yeah.
I never felt that from you.
Yeah, I'm
so
glad
you're just like a bubble of love.
Yeah.
That's what you are. And oh my God, beautiful.
Thank
Inside
you so
and
much,
out.
Sweetheart. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for seeing me. You honor me to see me.
You're such an example. And I'm sure so many people can feel inspired by your story. You went through so much and you accomplished everything that you deserved.
Thank you, Lovey.
I'm very, very happy for you.